Hey, I'm Shay and welcome back to my channel, Books with Shay. If I look a little familiar, it's because the video that you guys saw before this one, I will probably be dressed the same. I might even be dressed the same in the video that you see after this one, but I wanted to sit down while I was in this filming mood and get some videos together for you guys so you'll have stuff to watch this week. And I thought this was the perfect time for another installment of the brand new series on my channel, Bingeables. So today we're going to talk about bingeable romance reads. These are also some of my one-sitting romance reads that I could sit down and finish the whole thing, obviously, start to finish in one sitting. And so I'm going to talk to you guys about some old favorites, things that you know that I love, and some new favorites, things that I've read recently that kind of have quickly become things that I can't wait to revisit, as well as some that are maybe not as peppy as my normal. I really like romantic comedies. Like, that's the #1 type of contemporary romance that I read, but I read some harder hitting contemporary romance so far this year, and I am excited to share those with you as well. So let me grab my phone so I can see the list that I made, and without further ado, let's hop right into my recommendations. I thought I would get some of the recommendations out of the way that you guys know are coming at the very beginning so that you have the rest of the list to look forward to. So of course, I'm going to suggest that you read The Hating Game. You guys know that's one of my favorite romances of all time, and I will put pictures of them here. The Hating Game is an office romance about two coworkers that just can't stand each other, and it is about how the way that hate makes your heart race and makes you obsess over something is a lot like love, and where is that line? And so it is a fantastic, really funny, witty office romance that I truly enjoyed. And so if you have not read The Hating Game, what are you doing? Go and read it. And then the next one is a book that almost knocked The Hating Game out of my top spot. I would say these two might be tied. I don't know. I really love this book, and this was a recent read. It was towards the end of last year, and that is Get a Life, Chloe Brown. This was my favorite romance read, hands down, of last year. It is so good. It has so much representation. It has so many just sarcastic, funny moments in it. I laughed out loud. I love this book. So if you haven't read it, this is about Chloe Brown, who has an invisible illness, and she has made a list for how she's going to start living her life to the fullest, and she enlists the help of her superintendent, landlord type building manager guy, enlists his help to complete the life list that she has created, and antics ensue from there, and it is absolutely phenomenal. So if you haven't read it, one of my favorites of all time, Get a Life, Chloe Brown. And then next I have on here Well Met. Well Met is another one that I definitely laughed out loud on. It was a 4-star read for me, and I really loved it. I like that it took you to the setting. I think in contemporary romances, a lot of times the setting can be secondary, and I loved how the setting for this one was right up front and center. It was a primary element, and it made the aesthetic or the feel of the book very pronounced, which I really loved. This is set at a Renaissance fair, and basically there is our main character who has gone to live with her sister to help her out after she had been in a major car accident. And so our main character is helping and takes her niece up to the school, and her niece wants to be in this Renaissance fair, and it turns out in order for her to be in it, her parent has to be in it as well. Since her parent is out of commission, her aunt, our main character, kind of steps in to take part in this Renaissance festival, and she meets a guy there who's kind of putting on the Renaissance festival, and when they're in costume and in character, they really click, and when they're out of costume, they hate each other. You guys know I'm a huge fan of hate to love romance, and so this one was hilarious and so much fun. If you haven't picked up Well Met, you should definitely do it. I think I read this one in one sitting. The next one on here is The Right Swipe. This is another kind of hate to love relationship. It is about a couple of people who meet on a dating app, and they hook up, and then the girl is really interested and the guy kind of ghosts her, and so she gets really upset about that, and then she runs into him at a conference where he's working for a company that's in direct opposition to her company, and that's kind of where our story takes off. And it's another kind of hate to love or love to hate to love type trope that is so much fun. And you guys know if I'm recommending it, most of the time it's sarcastic, witty banter, some kind of hate to love, some kind of oppositional pull. I really like the dichotomy between two things that seem seem like they wouldn't go together, but actually go perfectly, kind of like Oreos and peanut butter. Anyway, let's keep going. The next one is The Key to Happily Ever After by Tiff Marcello. The reason why I put this one on this list is because it is a more family relationship centered book than it is just about the romances. There is romance in it, but it's more about the relationship between the sisters and then each of the sisters' individual experiences with their significant other. And so I like this because if you like romance light, but you don't like heavy romance, this is really good because it has more situational family drama, not just the lovey-dovey romance side of things. And so this one was a lot of fun for that. The next book on my list, the next two books actually have kind of similar premises. I read them both this year. One was 4 stars and one was 5 stars for me. I really liked them both, or were they both 4 stars? Either way, they were really, really good reads. And these are ones that are not the traditional bubblegum romantic comedy romances. One of them specifically was really hard-hitting. So the first one is You Were There Too, and that one just tore me up, but it was a really, really good read. This is basically about a girl who has been having dreams about this man that she's never met. She grows up, gets married, starts her life, and then she runs into this man that she has been dreaming of in the grocery store, and she'd never seen him or met him before that moment. Come to find out, he's been having dreams about her too, and so it's this struggle between the current life she has and whether or not the dream life or the dreams mean that they're actually meant to be together and she should give up everything to go and be with him. And it's just such an interesting concept, and the way it was explored in this was phenomenal. And the next one, kind of in that same vein, is In 5 Years, and this one just came out this month, I believe, or you might be seeing this in April, so it came out in March, I'm pretty sure. And it has a similar premise of this girl goes to sleep one night in her current life and she wakes up and it's 5 years later and she is with a completely different man in a different apartment, and she has this life that she doesn't recognize. She goes back to sleep and wakes up back in her normal life, and it's her trying to figure out how to either cause or not cause the thing that she saw in 5 years to happen. And it is another one that was hard-hitting and broke my heart a little bit, but it was such a good read. This is also a really short one. I'm not sure how many pages it is. I'll put it here, but it is a shorter book, and so I definitely read this one all in one sitting in one day. And so yeah, so the next one is one that I just finished, one of the most recent reads for me, which is Would Like to Meet. And this one is cute. It's lighter, fluffier. It doesn't really have that much crazy plot or substance or character development or anything. It's just a good snack of a read to me. It has a very rom-com feel, kind of forget about what's happening in your life, but not like a read that's going to change your life. And basically this book follows our main character, who is some kind of like production / agent assistant for a screenwriting company, and she has been tasked with helping one of their popular screenwriters come up with a new screenplay for a new movie that everybody is anticipating. And in order to help him, she has to stage a bunch of meet cutes in order for him to see that a meet cute is possible and believe in it and write one. And so anyway, that is the premise of that one. Like I said, it was okay. It wasn't phenomenal or anything, but it was good to get my mind off of everything going on, and it was a one sitting read. Next is one that I finished just a couple of days ago, and this is a brand new one out by Christina Lauren, and this is called The Honey Don't List. This is another one that I feel like I think I rated it 3 stars. It was just okay to me. It definitely wasn't my favorite Christina Lauren book. That is The Unhoneymooners. If you haven't read it, pick that one up. But I like it because it was new and different and a twist that I hadn't seen done on a romance before. I liked it because it was a quick read. I could get through it quickly, and it was a nice distracting read. This one follows an HGTV kind of Chip and Joanna Gaines type couple and their assistants, and it is about what is happening in front of the camera versus what is happening behind the scenes, and everybody figuring out how to fix the mess mess that has become their life, while romance ensues on one side and another couple kind of falls apart. And it was an interesting read for sure. 3 stars, so it was good. It wasn't my favorite ever. I definitely like it for the fact that you can get through it quickly and it is a nice distraction at this time, which is why it's on this list. And then for the next one, I have, this is kind of a 2 for 1, and so for the last couple books on this list, it is the Bromance Book Club and Undercover Bromance. And the thing I like about this is that you can read these back to back and you get to see their companion novels, so you get to see different characters going through different things, and I like that. I thought this was fun and witty, and there are things about it, like there are definitely some conversations that the men of the story have in this that don't seem like conversations that men would have. Like you can tell a woman wrote it. But other than that, I really enjoyed this, and again, they're definitely bingeable, definitely something that you can watch in this time to keep you occupied. So my very best friend is pulling up outside. I can see her through my window. We're gonna do some bullet journaling together, some reading, and hang out. So I will talk to you guys in the next video. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you soon. Bye.